I want to tell you about the most embarrassing interview of my life. I was sitting in front of a woman who looked like she had just invented or personally invented HR. Pressed, polished, looking completely unimpressed by my existence. So she leaned forward and she said, "Can you sing the national anthem?" Mind you, I'm a phonetic teacher. I'm a diction stroke English language teacher. And language is literally what I do for a living. I speak for a living. I opened my mouth and I mixed up every single line. I stumbled, I smiled, I pretended it was going better than it was, but it was not. So she looked at me like I had insulted her ancestors. However, the bottom line is I did not get the job. The worst part is that it's not because I lacked the knowledge, it was because I walked into the room without the one thing that changes everything, and that is confidence. Now, stay with me. Welcome to Emmy's Phonetic Corner. My name is MM. And if you're new here, don't forget to connect with me on all of my social media. I've got my Facebook, I've got my Instagram, I've got my YouTube. Also got a WhatsApp phonetic classroom where I post daily tips and lessons, and it's always fun in there. And if my contents are meaningful to you or valuable to you, please support my content. I have a page on Seller Show Love where you can send um, cash support or whatever support it is that you can to support my content. And let's dive into today's lesson. So, here's the thing that nobody tells you about interviews. Schools prepare you to pass your exams. Life gave you experience or gives you experience. Nobody sat you down and said, "This is how you walk into a room and make somebody believe you within 10 minutes." Nobody told you what to do with your hands. So nobody showed you the difference between a weak answer and a strong one. So we go in unprepared, and when the pressure comes, we freeze, we ramble, we undersell ourselves, and then we say, "I do not interview well. I don't think I'm caught up for interviews," or whatever it is. But that's not true. You were just not taught how to. So, before an interview, do you spend more time preparing or worrying about the interviewer than you do preparing what to say? Because most people do. We built these interviewers up in our head. We imagine them sitting there waiting for us to fail. We walk in already apologizing for being in the room. And one of the greatest communicators who ever lived, Larry King, once wrote in his book that no man you'll meet is ever truly superior to you. And if you think he is, remember that nobody jumps into their trousers in the morning. That interviewer in that pressed suit, they woke up this morning and they put their trouser one leg at a time, just like you. They are not a god. They are a person doing a job. And your job is to show them that you are the right person for theirs. So most people think an interview is a test, but it is not. An interview is a conversation with purpose. An interviewer is not trying to catch you out. They're trying to see if you're the solution to the problem they have. When you walk in with that understanding, everything changes. You stop trying to perform and you start trying to connect. You stop reciting answers and you start having a conversation. And that moment, you make that shift in your head. That moment that you change that thinking, your voice changes, your posture changes, and your presence also changes. So here's what the interviewers are actually evaluating, and it is not just your CV. One, can you communicate clearly? Not perfectly, but clearly. There is a difference. Two, will you fit into this team? They're imagining working with you every single day. And what energy do you bring into the room? That is their first assessment. Three, do you understand this role? Not just the job title, but what you can actually do. Do you understand what the job actually demands from you? Four, can I trust this person? Trust is built through tone, eye contact, and how you handle hard questions. Five, is this person self aware? Because nobody wants to hire someone who thinks they already know everything. If you already know everything, then there is no point hiring you because you can't be teachable. So your answers need to address all five of those questions, not just what you say, but how you say it. Okay, let me give you a clear example. I'm going to read this out. Candidate A says, I'm a hard worker and a fast learner. Candidate B says, I consistently meet deadlines, and in my last role, I was given a new system to manage within 3 days' notice, and I delivered ahead of schedule. See, the same quality of person, completely different impact. The difference is not talent, it's language. I am a hard worker tells an interview nothing, absolutely nothing. Every single person in that waiting room has said those words. Every person is a hard worker, every person is a fast learner. But giving one specific example, a real moment, a real result, that is what makes you memorable. Now, and this is a skill, not a personality trait. You can practice it, you can own it. That day, I sat in front of the interviewer and forgot the national anthem. I was not unqualified. What happened was that I was unprepared. And there's a version of you right now preparing for an interview that could change your life. And nobody has handed you the two to work in there and actually get the job. So I've created the interview survival pack for you. Mindset, language, etiquette, common questions with exact answer, what to never say, a full interview dialogue you can practice, and a checklist to fill you in before you walk through any door. It's a guide I wish I had that day. The link is in my bio. It's on Seller and it's very valuable. So go and get it because forgetting the national anthem in front of a scary interviewer should never happen to you because you were not prepared, and it will not. So click on the link in the description and get it for yourself. Now, see you soon for another lesson. Bye. Get the free PDF and so